Spider-Man the Movie Game, aka Spider-Man the Movie, aka Spider-Man the Movie the Game, aka Spider-Man, not to be confused with the PS1 Game Boy game or the Spider-Man 2016 game, sheesh, that's a lot of Spider-Man games, is based on a 2002 masterpiece zeitgeist film that is Sam Raimi's Spider-Man. Oh, what a wonderful movie. Published and developed by COD's Activision and Treyarch, oh how the mighty have fallen, the game is basically somewhat of a remake or soft rebuild of the PS1 games, but just to make it different, they did modernize the formula a bit while abandoning the Saturday morning cartoon feel for a more realistic cinematic tone. What's going on, Absolute Units? This is Cinder Unit, and this is a game that I've been wanting to review for a while since my first two reviews were Spider-Man videos, and since the Raimi memes I made are still raking in views, and that only 2 people voted on what my next video will be, this is going to be the game that I'll be covering. With that being said, will this tiny game be considered the superior follow-up, or will this game be a huge letdown? Well, that's what we're about to find out on this game review, so let's go! Starting off the game, and everything here already screams early 2000s. The intro, the opening scene, the sound effects, and the main menu is just a definition of a product of its time. My time, actually. I'm fucking old now, am I? Starting off in the tutorial mode, this is where we get to learn the basics in some X-Men VR Danger Room training simulator featuring Bruce Campbell as Professor X?
Greetings. Welcome to the tutorial. Yeah, I know, you want to get on with things, beat up the bad guys, do the whole superhero thing, blah blah blah.
Well, he's actually called the tour guide, but seeing that Brucey and Toby seem to be talking via telepathy, he clearly is the Professor X here all along.
This is incredible! Am I really doing this?
Well, you're easily impressed, aren't you?
Also, what's been introduced in this game, and not in the PS1 game, is the height meter. This is only used in outdoor missions to keep track of where the next objective is located via your height distance. Movement controls, however, seem to be a bit groggy. At first I thought this could be the emulation input lag, but then I realized this is how the game plays out when it's released on April 16th. That's a few weeks before the movie was even out. But yeah, I wouldn't say the controls age poorly, but I feel like this is how they intend the gameplay to work, or they just haven't started testing. Even double jump seems unresponsive at some times. So if the last gen games had better movement than the modern gen games, you know you fucked up. The rest of the training levels are just minigame obstacle courses, which are surprisingly hard, and an arena mode where you get to beat up those glider dudes from that one scene. They actually bothered making a model of him? This guy's probably rich for getting his royalty fees, huh?
Here we go, money talk!
And the rest in the arena to practice your combos. Defeat all 50, and you get to fight the purple nerp, Bonesaw. Ah yes, Toby shooting musical notes. Truly one of my favorite moments in the Spider-Man movie. No kid mode difficulty this time, but we do get a super hard superhero mode, and you can choose the controls between classic, which will basically let you use the D-pad to use some web moves, or enhanced, which allows you to use the L2 button or D-pad for special web attacks. You can even try doing a secret web rodeo move, which for some reason isn't shown in the instructions. Now, unlike the main movie story where Peter wants money for a brand new car, in here Peter actually wants to use his powers to help Uncle Ben and May. Which, while that makes him selfless, it does make it feel watered down since it ultimately undermines the lesson of responsibility. Now in my 200 subscriber video, one of the reasons why I haven't played this game is because of the emulation lag. And it plays like this.
There's nothing Peter Parker can do at this point. But Spider-Man is a different story.
But thanks to the release of a new PCSX2 version, it's safe to say that this game is playable. And my god, for level 1 this place is beautiful! The soundtrack feels like something from the movies, the area feels open-ended, and the graphics is just incredible for PS2 standards. I wanna see what's on the ground. You know, this is what heaven looks like, and I hope heaven looks like this. Whereas the older games you can only swing when a building is nearby, in here all you have to do is press the swing button and you'll just move wherever you want non-stop. You can also hold down the swing button for a speed boost, but controlling is a lot harder. Your web meter seems unlimited when swinging, but when it comes to web combat, they do seem to use resources. And since you use organic webs, there's really no way for you to get spare web cartridges, just like older games. Now, unpopular opinion, but as much as I prefer organic webs, I do like how they still add limits just to prevent you from using too much. Although there might be a hint that this was made during when Toby's Spider-Man was still using web shooters if you pick up a blue Spire token with a full bar.
My web's topped off already.
Now, unlike other levels, this seems to be the only mission with a side quest, which is to find this lady's missing purse that was on another rooftop.
Wait! Before you go, I lost my purse on one of the rooftops around here.
On a different rooftop?
Yes!
Different from this one?
Yes!
Are you serious? Are you taking some kind of tour of city rooftops?
Yes!
I have no
Okay,
idea why this
whatever, I'll
exists,
find your
so
purse for
either
you.
this was meant to be a
Thank
leftover
you.
from a prototype, or they just add in just for sake of adding shit. Speaking of prototypes, I was checking the sound files, and would you believe me that level 1 was almost a timed mission?
No! The police are already there! I'll never be able to get to Uncle Ben's killer now!
Now, if you haven't noticed already, the thugs seen in the first few levels are obviously based on the PS1 thugs.
Circus in town?
Like the last games, you got the red health spire and the blue web spire symbols coming back, but the special webs and the spy armor seems like they're nowhere to be found. But we do get a golden spire token, which lets you unlock a new combo move. Unlike an intro lecture where they commercialize about the game having stellar new fighting combos.
Stellar new fighting combos.
Liar!
Speaking of which, some recent discovery I found is that you can pull off some special moves by pressing the D-pad direction and the punch or kick button. The only problem here is that these moves are so useless that I can't even think of any good situations to use them. And that roundhouse kick looks so good. But if anything, as long as you have any combo move with a jump button in the middle, you can pretty much just kill everyone because of how unbalanced the AoE damage is.
A carjacker killed an old man earlier today. The killer's a skull. Where is he?
I can't tell you, he killed me.
What makes you think I won't?
Well, he ain't wrong. I've already dropped a few thugs and burned one to death. Sheesh, I thought I came to play Spider-Man, not the Punisher.
Looks like the freak wants to play. Circus in town? What's with the getup, chump?
You ain't getting this fuse. Better take off while you still can.
So long, freak!
I swear, whoever wrote these enemy NPC lines and dialogues deserve a raise, and maybe given an Academy Award to the voice actors.
You beat those guys up? You! Embarrassing.
So the first boss of this game is Uncle Ben's killer, carjacker, and as a kid I always thought this boss is scary because of the music and the fact that his 2D artwork render looks like he's staring into my soul. So Uncle Ben's carjacker dies from a ridiculously fragile glass window, Peter gets a proper suit, and Oscorp sends out a bunch of Spire Slayers from pre-Goblin Norman to hunt him. Yeah, here's another thing that makes this game different from the movie. Both Peter and Norman were supposed to get their powers at the same time, but in here, Norman hasn't even turned into a goblin yet, and is still working on the performance enhancers, so he's off to steal Spider-Man's blood so he can complete it. Now, call me biased, but if anyone asks what my favorite level in this game is, then it's got to be level 1 just because it's a place where I can just swing and relax without doing any objectives. You also got a bunch of New Yorkers with megaphones just commenting on you and like, do you have to pay to talk to Spider-Man, or do New Yorkers just carry them wherever they go?
Hey, Spidey! You're the greatest, man! Wow, did you see that?
Look out! Here comes Spider-Man! Get a job, Menace!
Ah, my adoring public.
Step right up, folks, step right up! You got 30 seconds to use a megaphone to talk to the amazing Spider-Man! Yeah, I already got one, buddy. Tourist traps. They never change. Sometimes there'll be a chance where two people with megaphones just talk to each other, like, isn't that weird?
Shots?
Mommy! Mommy, look! That man is swinging from the building! That's nice, dear.
Now, one of the things this game seems to excel has got to be the air combat. Some might think Spidey swinging to the heavens a bit confusing, but if anything, it actually makes fighting aerial enemies exciting.
Just for reference, are you guys...
Now, since the first movie only had one villain, well, two actually, the devs decided to add some characters from Spidey's Rogues galleries, which helps expand the lore of the movies. What's even cooler about these rhyming versions of the characters is that they actually made official toys based on the video game's designs. Neat! contradictories aside, I always enjoy considering these events as canon since we get to see more of what Tobey's Spider-Man's adventures are. The best part? Gets to interact with them and say their names. But when we get to the gist of the main movie story, that's where I say, yeah, I'll just watch the movie's events.
So you must be Quilt Man, Padded Pete, Mr. Triple Ply? Oh, I've got it! The cushion.
Ah, Tobey. I know everyone likes to give him flack for being a weak Spider-Man and for being a weak voice actor, but I'm so glad they replaced Josh Keaton over him. Because unlike the movies, this actually makes his version of Spider-Man a lot more closer thanks to him quipping a lot. So the next time when someone says why I like Tobey, it's not just his movie performance, but his characterization in the video games too.
Give me a break, Shock. I can't believe you have any class, let alone a whole school worth.
Okay, why the hell is your Gen Alpha iPad kid ignoring his surroundings? Hey buddy, you're in the wrong generation. 20 years too early in fact.
Help! What's going on?
You really ought to pay more attention.
So you chase down Shocker, murder and drown one of his goons to a pool of electric waters, avoid his sonic blast, and finally get to his boss fight. But unlike Enter Electro, this time he gets to do high jumps and a tornado spin, which you can pretty much avoid with a web zip. Up next is Vulture, and as much as I get that people are disappointed that we never got a Spider-Man 4 with him as the main villain, I'm actually glad it never happened just to ensure the games feel canon. I mean, if Doc Ock, Sandman, and Venom appeared in the games first, then that would make their movie appearances even a lot more confusing. So I'm glad it never happened. So here it is guys, Tobey's Spider-Man vs. the Vulture.
No money means no animation!
Vulture is the easiest boss fight since most of the time it's just you webbing him in midair and damaging his wings. Unless you're trying to collect the Golden Spire token this level, then yeah, that's where the challenge comes in. So Norman learns that there's another person with Arachnid DNA and sends out the Spider Slayers to track him down. This is where we get to introduce to Scorpion, the OG anti-Spider-Man before Venom. He's probably my favorite of the bunch because of his backstory, which we never learn until the third Spider-Man tie-in game. But of all the bosses, Scorpion is probably the hardest of them all. His attacks are too tough and his long tail makes his fight unfair. That is, until I found out that he's weak to wood. What is he? A vampire?
Ticked me off on the wrong night, Count.
It's Morbin time.
I'm not even kidding, this level even encourages you to not use any pickups. Being the last of the Spider-Man comic villain we'll have to deal with, we finally get to the movie's main antagonist after 12 missions of him not being Goblin. And unlike the movie where he became the Goblin the same time Peter gets his powers, Norman becomes Goblin after he got fired and during the World Unity Festival. So this pretty much means that he never did bomb Quest Aerospace. And what makes game Norman different than movie Norman is that in this version, he never returns or acts like his normal self. Like he just goes full-on Goblin 24/7. I even say he still acts like Goblin even before getting the performance enhancers. I get it's a way to keep the game summarized and abridged, but it's almost as if Norman never really existed. It's just a Goblin. All those traces of humanity is just zero. So Goblin pretty much bombs the festival straightforward without any build-up, and MJ, who somehow got blasted to the balloon, survived, and Harry, probably presumed dead. It's now up to Spider-Man to put a stop to him.
Who are you? No, wait. Let me guess. The Emerald Elf?
While also letting people die because he can't touch the ground.
You today is an unexpected bonus, Spider-Man.
Oh yeah? Well, I'm afraid I don't give autographs.
There's no need for us to fight.
Uh-huh. When you stop lobbing bombs at me, we'll see about that.
I can't believe you don't sense it. Our kinship. We are truly brothers.
Brothers, huh? Well then I'm telling Mom.
Again, whoever wrote these lines deserve a raise. So we get 2 levels of Goblin boss fights in a row for some weird reason. We have a bunch of structures, and since the devs have no idea how to recreate the "you and I are not so different" scene, they decide to replace that with Goblin planting bombs. Now even though the level is short, the Hunter-Killer Spider Slayers are ridiculous. It doesn't even matter if the spotlights don't spot you, they'll just shoot you anyway. And sometimes the bombs are just too far away for you to reach them, and even when I hold down the swing button for a speed boost, I still can't make it in time! Come on, come on, come on! Time's running out! People are gonna die already!
who we choose to be. Now choose! Did I win?
After defusing the bomb, Norman sends out Kraven the Hunter to kill Spider-Man. If I had the Xbox version, that is! Seriously, what do they think in trying to make this an Xbox exclusive content? I mean, I get that's meant to promote that there's a new gaming console in the vlog that's not Nintendo or Sony or Sega. That's dead. Maybe they had a business deal, but aren't Raimi movies still a Sony product? Shouldn't this level be Sony exclusive? Sir, we've been getting calls from our customers saying that they can't access the Kraven mission. Shouldn't we do something about it? Tell them to get an Xbox! Okay then, sir. But should we give them a reason why you put Kraven in the Xbox version? No! Was it part of Microsoft's deal? Is there some kind of plan to have people buy Xboxes so we can compete in the console FPS market? Tell them to buy an Xbox! But sir, what if our customers owns the game on the Microsoft Windows? Shouldn't we at least give them the Xbox exclusive Spider-Man 2 PC? What? Spider-Man 2 PC! That's the best thing I could do! But sir, Spider-Man 2 isn't even announced yet. Besides, we don't even know if we're going to be the ones to develop it. Get Spider-Man 2 whether you like it or not! So after beating up some razor bats, Peter takes one at home to study and analyze them, only to learn that it's part of an Oscorp conspiracy.
Murder and corporate sabotage. Harry would be devastated if he found out his dad was involved.
This is where it gets to the stealth sections of the
Breaking and
game,
entering
unless
it.
you consider the first part of level 2, which has broken confusing stealth. And what makes this better than Enter Electro is that it's already better than the train station stealth level. This place feels actually a lot more punishing. It's even a lot more scary thanks to its dark atmosphere, and the fact that you have to steal a passcode while guards are still patrolling real time increases a lot of tension.
More than halfway there.
And hey look, it's a black suit spy pre-Spider-Man 3! And once you do get spotted, guards will start alluring an army of android super soldiers, and these guys are ridiculously overkill. But hey, I'd rather have robot humanoids than some boring flying drones of Enter Electro. Okay, why is the military interested in these guys again? General Slocum, it's good to see you again. How do you like our killer robots? It's been powered by the latest Oscorp patented AI technology. Well then, Dr. Osborn, why do you think we should use your robot technology? You see, General, with the power of machines, we no longer have to use sack of meat shields to defend our country or attack opposing nations in our coming wars. What do you mean, meat shields? Is that supposed to be a compliment or an insult? No offense, General, but if we keep sending more people to the war, there will be high casualties. And all the soldiers still stuck in our outposts can come back to their families. Are you meaning to say that my men are cowards, Dr. Osborn? No, sir. Dr. Osborn, you do realize that America is the land of opportunity, correct? And by replacing human jobs with robots, that essentially means taking away their possible career paths, correct? But, do you seriously think I want robots to kill enemy soldiers? Are you implying that my men are weak and are too scared to fight? I don't want to see robots killing terrorists, I want to see my soldiers do the killing. Where's the human touch in that? Human touch, what does that have anything to do with? Enough of this, Osborn. I've asked for exoskeleton combat armor, and you gave me drones. I'm pulling my fundings and I'm going to take them to Quest Aerospace. Have a good day, Doctor. What? The second stealth level is probably the worst one of all, because now the trap detection goes fuck you mode, like the timing is just ridiculous. There's also this puzzle you need to solve to contain a bunch of biochemicals, and failing to do so the wrong way will result in a resistance cascade.
Get away from the beat! Shutting down! No! Attempting shutdown! It's not shutting down! It's not!
Also, what the hell happened to this scientist? We never know what happens after the end of this mission.
There's an intruder here somewhere. Spread out and find him.
Dumb and ugly.
Did I just kill an innocent man? Now, we've seen Spider-Man's terrifying foes such as Shocker, Vulture, Scorpion, Bonesaw, Goblin, the Carjacker, and Kraven, Xbox only, the Hunter. But here we are, folks. We finally get to meet one of Spider-Man's most terrifying foes yet. Not Venom, not Doc Ock, not Carnage, not Big Wheel, Not the electric generator, but his most evil foe yet. The terrifying, the deadly, the amazing...
Metal Gear.
Metal Gear? Why the fuck's there a huge-ass Metal Gear in a video game movie tie-in of Spider-Man? Yeah, remember when Toby once fought a giant Gundam in the movie, shooting laser beams? Yeah, I remember. This thing has a name?! So we learned that Goblin was about to kidnap MJ, escape Oscorp, chase Goblin in a short yet unfair race unless you try getting a few steps ahead of him, and finally reach the finale in the game's only outdoor street level. Finally, at long last, I can touch the ground!
Thanks.
So you beat the Green Goblin, kiss MJ in front of his corpse, and then Spider-Man just tells you to touch grass.
Looks like you're done now. Go outside and play.
Now that the main story's finished, it's time to check out the secret store where we unlock new content depending on how much points you got. The first unlock is a bowling alley where you get to complete with 4 other players, which is a good multiplayer for a fun party time.
Let's go bowling.
There's also test animations, concept art, unlimited web, and just 3 alt costumes. None of them have any special superpowers, no invincible mode, no unlimited stealth, and no double damage, nothing. Well, this is a downer. I guess the Alex Ross Spider-Man suit is cool, and even changes the Goblin suit to look like in the movie's concept art. But other than that, that's just pretty much it. There's not even comic books like in the last game. Yes, I get they're just plot summaries of an issue, but come on, at least let me read. Well, I suppose there are secret costumes in the game just by entering them via cheats, but most of them are just reused NPC character reskins. I'm surprised they actually bothered making 2D render artwork of them. And no, they don't have any special powers. Like, when you play as Shocker, you don't get to shoot shockwaves. And when you get to play as Captain Stacy, you don't even get to use his gun or anything. Yes, this is Captain Stacy, guys. This is his only model appearance in the game, even before Spider-Man 3 was made. So yeah, these are pretty much the extra secret costumes in the game. The only one that's worth using is the MJ costume, since you get to use the power of lesbianism, but it only works in the older versions. Unfortunately, the ice I'm using doesn't even have that cheat code. If I had a nickel and a Spider-Man game was altered because of twins, I'd have 2 nickels. Which isn't a lot, but it's weird that happened twice. So that's pretty much it, huh? No interesting powered costumes, lukewarm bonus content, and not even a character viewer? Well, it turns out there was going to be a character viewer, and Toby even recorded some lines from dialogue for it, but it was never added.
What to say about myself? I mean, there's the obvious, web-swinging, wall-crawling, spider-sense stuff. But what about me? The real me? Ah, you don't care about that. On with the baddie beatings.
But does this game have a new game plus what if mode cheat? No, but if you actually play the game in the hardest difficulty, exit the game, then go to the level select menu, choose the ending level, and you can actually unlock an alternate what if story mode, starring Josh Keaton as Harry Osborn.
I can't believe I'm doing this. Using Dad's Goblin gear is just nuts. That weird invoice I found with Dad's stuff sure made it look like he was hiring the Skulls gang to do dirty work for him. I have to know what he was doing. Look out, Skulls. There's a new Green Goblin in town.
Yep, you heard me. New Goblin before Spider-Man 3 even happened. And considering that you've got Goblin powers, you get to use cool gadgets like your glider, pumpkin bombs, missiles, machine guns, that one trident thing that was in one scene, and go full on sicko mode with sonic speed. Kinda makes it feel like I'm playing a mod. An official one, that is. The only problem I have with this alternate storyline is that we don't really get to know who the other Goblin is. My guess is that's either Hobgoblin or maybe it's really Norman. Either way, Goblin mode's ending is kinda anticlimactic, so you never really did have any ties unfolding the mystery. And that was Spider-Man the movie the game. The game definitely has some highlights like the air-ground combat, the graphics, the enemy voice acting, and the side story that we don't get to see in the movies. But I can definitely tell there are still people that will prefer the older versions for its zanier, cartoony charm and appeal, more Marvel characters, than this game's direction for realism. But if you ask me, my problem would probably stem with the lack of interesting side bonuses, and that's pretty much it. Of course, if you're one of those people who thinks too much about the story and how it ties to the movies, well, you can just think of this as semi-canon. I'd personally say yes, so let's just hope that means that we won't make a Spider-Man 4 that'll ruin everything. So please don't make a Spider-Man 4. Spider-Man 3 and No Way Home is already a satisfying conclusion. With that being said, I think I'll give Spider-Man the movie game 4 Cinder Points. Now if this game's content is similar to the last game, like better costumes with special powers and a character viewer, I'd give 1 extra point for a half score, or even a full score if I want to. But I suppose that this is the game we got in the end. Shame that this is the last time we'll get to see this game design, because once we get to the next Spider-Man game, that's where the formula is going to change forever. Well, guess that's all for now. This is Cinder Unit, logging off, and until next time, true believers.
No! You! Not you!
Stay back! I'm warning you, you psycho!
I could have stopped you at the fight promoter's office. I could have saved Uncle Ben.